Good morning, traders. Welcome to StockCast. My name is Todd Derby, along with my co-host James Mason, where our goal every day is ideas on the daily trading activities, even when we're really sick. How you feeling today, James?
Oh man, I feel like trash. How you feel?
Like I should be back in bed.
I honestly think that you give me my sickness through the microphone.
Well, since you were sick before me, that would be an amazing breakthrough in science.
Yeah,
On
that is
two
true.
fronts.
That is true.
That you were sick before me, so I was able to get you sick, and through the microphone. So maybe there's worse things. I've seen stories about guys who are pregnant. I mean, that's weird.
We probably don't need to continue down this path. I'm sure having some conversation about trans genders on YouTube would. Oh,
Based on what we have to talk about today, it might be more interesting though.
Yeah. Let's just go ahead and get into it. So, pre-market is not really too much going on pre-market with anything that I like that hasn't ran already. So let me just go ahead and share my screen. All right. So, pre-market, we've had a few runners that we kind of were looking at in the past, but they haven't really done anything yet. We do have ticker PETZ. That's it had a nice push yesterday, and it's making a slight push up this morning. But that run is already, it's already doing its thing. So jumping in right now will probably be just way too late. But other than that, I'm not really seeing much pre-market. But we can talk about what had happened yesterday.
Wow.
And that was the FOMC meeting. So Jerome Powell, nothing less than Jerome Powell, said yesterday that they would start to taper all their bond purchases and all that crap in the market. We already knew that. He said that last month. So we knew it was going to start happening in November. Overall, that should have been a bearish event. But the Wall Street algos had clearly taken over right here and did the complete opposite. And, Todd and I got smoked in. I'm not going to lie. I got smoked because everything was looking well. I had a lot of short-term puts in Apple and AMD. And good Lord. Actually, hold on, let me show you Apple. So when he made that announcement, I had stop losses in. And I say I had a lot of contracts. I had 300 contracts each. And man,
that's a lot.
Yeah. Stop losses, it happened right here. Stop losses did not even matter. I literally, when this happened, Wall Street algos took over in just this huge green candle. I literally got filled at the very freaking top in my stop loss. Now, there's no sense to get into how much, my premiums were and where I had my stop in. But when this was running, it went way beyond what my stop price would have been for my premiums on those contracts. And it filled me at the stinking top right here for those puts to cover me. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, so almost, well, in that one candle, literally the worst fill ever. So I completely got smoked. But that is what it is. It's just, it's bull crap though. How stop losses, you put in the stop loss and your broker, if you don't have a stop loss in and something happens, your broker, and you call them up to complain, they'll always say you should have a stop loss in. But hell, when you have a stop loss in and it triggers way beyond what your stop loss was, then they always have some BS crap of, oh, well, there were no orders executed until XXX price. Well, yeah, because y'all didn't execute my damn order at my stop price. That's how this works. So, yeah. So, anyways, when that happened, I mean, I completely got smoked. Nothing I can do about it. But with that news overall, I mean, that is a bearish event. It's gonna eventually, when they actually do start tapering off of everything, it's like taking welfare away from, giving that assistance away from people. They're gonna have to figure it out on their own. And if they don't figure it out on their own and keep themselves up, then they're going to collapse. Same thing with the market. If they're not supporting the market, it's going to come down. But my whole point being is what you know is true and what should happen in the market, more than likely, it's not going to happen that way. That's just the way the market works. The market more than likely is going to do the opposite of what everyone expects it to do. Because if it did exactly what everyone expected it to do, then making money would be easy. And the hardest thing when it comes to trading is when something logically makes sense to go against it. For instance,
you've recently talked about that on our Facebook page, about how your contrarian lifestyle or contrarian thinking. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts on, because it was pretty obvious that a bear market should have happened last night. I mean, minimum should have been neutral, not the opposite of a bull. So what made you go so heavy, since it was, I think that was the signal that all retail was looking at?
I honestly was just getting too greedy. In that other account, I've been trading short-term contract expirations, and literally have increased it over last month by 50,000. So I was just like, heck, just keep going heavy. And I mean, I was just probably came down to a little overconfidence. I knew it would have been a bearish event take place, but I should have known better. I should have waited until after his announcement to see what had happened. Because had I done that, man, I would have saved a lot of money.
And you would have bought puts that were up at the top tick versus.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, it is what it is. I'm just got to move on. But yeah, so overall, it's a bearish event, and at some point they're going to pull the rug on everyone. It will probably happen in the middle of the night or early pre-market when people can't get in or out of trades. Just expect that. But going back to what we're talking about before we went live, Todd, about the options market, how there's so much money in the options market now.
Yep.
I fully believe, the market makers knew that was a bearish event that was taking place. But they also knew that everyone else knew that. So they couldn't have everybody make all that money. So what did they do? They make the market do the opposite. So they can sweep up all of those premiums from those contracts. Just eat it all up. Make fat profits. One good last time. That is what I expect.
Sorry to hear about your loss. It's no fun. No fun having losses like that.
I mean, it is what it is, but I'm just glad that I wasn't like so emotionally caught up in it to where I was able to mentally, just let it stop out and not try to keep chasing it. Right. That's where you end up destroying everything in your account. Hold on a second, I'm just going through the comments really quickly.
Yeah, me too. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Yep, QCOM had a nice rip off this earnings. That's John. That's true. Good morning, Rob. Appreciate that. Thank you, Karen.
Okay, so question about we have a question from Alex. He's asking, is Tesla on a bull run?
Yes.
Yes, no, yes, but it shouldn't be. So if you guys don't know already, Kathy Wood, she sold her 80,000 shares or whatever it was in Tesla because there's no signed deal between Tesla and Hertz. That has been confirmed now. But with all of that crap that happened yesterday, that's what caused this to shoot up. I still would not try to chase Tesla long. I mean, we can look at it on a daily chart, and I mean, look at this. This is not normal. Like, especially for a $1,200 stock, this is not normal. And I mean, you can just look how hot Tesla is. I mean, it's screaming above RSI. It's screaming above the MACD. Tesla is going to pull back hard. And when it does, it's going to swoop a lot of people, especially if they don't lock down this Hertz contract, which, don't get me wrong, I believe they will. I mean, it's Elon Musk. He can pretty much do anything. But regardless if they do lock down the contract or not, that doesn't mean that Tesla is going to keep going up. You guys know all the times when you've looked at a stock and it would have good news and then it pulls back, and you always wonder, that's great news. Why did it pull back? Well, a lot of times it's because that stock's overvalued anyways. And let's be honest, I love Tesla. But Tesla is way overvalued. Like, Tesla is not worth this much money, fundamentally. And Wall Street will adjust this accordingly. So if you guys are still running Tesla out, just have some stop losses in place. I will say that Tesla is hard to play with stop losses because it moves so much, but at some point, you guys do need to take profits somewhere along the way. I mean, when you literally have a stock on a daily chart, especially something like Tesla, where those candlesticks are literally going straight up like a tree, it won't keep going up forever. It's pretty much topped out right here, and we're going to start to see a drastic pullback overall. So I do believe that the Wall Street algos are just tricking everybody. They tricked everybody to sweep all those put premiums up yesterday, and then they're probably going to sweep all the call premiums up here soon. So that is what I expect. All right, let's see. Just going through some comments. All right, I don't really see much in the comments, but other than that, Todd, let's go and we're gonna cut this one short today as well. It's not much going on pre-market. We're both sick. I don't really want to get too in depth with any kind of technical analysis, just because my perception will be flawed. Since I'm not at 100%, I just don't want to, mislead somebody when I know I can help it. So, all right, guys, we appreciate y'all tuning in today. Sorry that Todd got us all sick. But hey, that's what Todd does. Todd does things like that. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all tuning in today. And we will catch y'all in the next one.
See you guys.